Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel where I talk about mental and emotional health, mindset, self-care, self-development, and more. In today's video, we are going to talk about signs your mental health is falling apart and how you can fix it. So I think this is a very important topic, especially lately, where so many things seem to be going wrong in the world and in our own personal lives that end up causing us so much mental and emotional stress. And when your mental health is down, you feel it. It affects so many aspects of your daily life. So the fact that you're looking for a solution to how you're feeling is awesome. And we're gonna go through 6 signs that your mental health is not doing so great right now, and some quick tips on how you can make yourself feel better. So the first sign that your mental health is kind of falling apart is that you are struggling with impulse control. So this includes, but is not limited to, social media, food, alcohol, drugs, and shopping. This happens when you have trouble coping with stress. It's a way to avoid stress by falling into behaviors that trigger dopamine to make us feel good, even if in the long run it's seriously hindering us and harming us. We turn to these things because they make us feel okay in the moment when we're stressed out mentally. But the bad news is that once we get our fix of it, we realize that we wasted an entire day that we had the opportunity to be productive, and we fall back into the same cycle again. So if you struggle with impulse control, what can you do? Well, you have to set boundaries, and I speak for myself as well. When I feel mentally unwell, what I turn to is social media. I hate it, but it happens. And so I have to be realistic with myself and identify that that is my trigger. I will waste an entire day scrolling from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok to YouTube and all the way back around because I'm feeling so mentally unwell. And in that moment, I can forget about all of my responsibilities, only to then realize, crap, I still have all of these things to do and less time to do it in. So my boundary, for example, would be to turn off notifications, put the phone away in a different room, close the door, and do not touch it until the day is done. Practice this process with any impulse control problem by setting boundaries in the form of removing it completely or heavily limiting it. The second sign is that you're mentally scattered, so you can't seem to pay attention, focus, or concentrate on anything throughout the day, which makes it pretty much impossible to get any work done. So if this happens to you, what can you do about it? Well, you probably have a bunch of different types of thoughts swimming around in your head, making it really hard to focus on one thing at a time. So if it's work or school related, make a list of every single thing, every task, every deadline, every project that you have to do, and order them from the most important to the least important, and focus on them one at a time. Do not look at, think about, or start the second, third, fourth thing on the list until they are chronologically being checked off. So that'll really help organize all the things that you have going on in your head. Now, if the thoughts that you're experiencing are more personal, like things that are worrying you, you're overthinking about something, something's bothering you, again, take out a piece of paper or a journal and write it all down. The process of transferring what we have in our heads onto a physical piece of paper is very therapeutic, and that's the reason why so many people always loved, or still do love, to keep diaries, journals. It's almost as if you are talking to somebody, and we all know that once we talk to somebody about how we're feeling, we always tend to feel better and lighter. So write everything down and have that time to really address what's going on in your head and move on to the things that you gotta do. Now, when it comes to feeling mentally scattered, there is a term that goes a step beyond that, and I'm sure you've heard it before. It is brain fog. So brain fog is a cognitive dysfunction that impairs attention, memory, problem-solving skills, and overall mental clarity. People describe it as extreme mental fatigue or feeling mentally fuzzy, consistent tiredness despite getting enough sleep, and having confusion and forgetfulness. There is a very, very common thing that a lot of us with brain fog do experience, and that is stress. So in order to reduce brain fog, you have to reduce your stress levels. Do things that calm you down, that are fun. Meditate, read a book, go on a hike or a walk, get together with friends, whatever it is that you find enjoyable, that makes you happy and calms you down, do that. Number 3 is that you always feel drained, which is also known as burnout. So burnout is a syndrome as a result of occupational stress that makes you feel energy depletion or exhaustion, mental distance or negative feelings towards your career, and a reduced productivity at work or school. Burnout has always been a thing, but it's definitely been on the rise lately as so many people started working from home and also started getting involved in online side hustles. The line between working hours and personal hours has become very blurred, especially once people started working from home. And it's easy to see why. Your computer is always there, you're on it working all day, so it can be very easy easy to lose track of time and know when to say, all right, enough is enough of work today. It's time for my own time. So it's up to you to figure out between what hours you're going to be working, or even if you have a set schedule, that's fine too. But once that hour hits, you tell yourself, I am done working for the day. I am done studying for the day. You put everything away, and that is your time to relax, unwind, and re-energize. And you're going to be overall more productive in your job and at school if you do this, and you're going to feel mentally better as well. So number 4 is that your mood is unstable. An unstable mood means that you may be easily agitated, irritated, angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, anxious, and or unmotivated, even by minor inconveniences. So if this is happening to you, this is an indicator that you are emotionally exhausted and that your brain isn't properly regulating emotions. In fact, many studies have shown that higher levels of anger, anxiety, depression, and frustration are associated with higher levels of mental stress. So what can you do if your mood has been unstable and it's just really not like you? One thing you can try is to rewire your brain into looking at the positivity of each situation. Things we can't control happen to us every single day in our lives, but the important thing is to not fall into the pattern of negativity, which is hard since our brain is naturally more inclined to focus on the negatives. But the good news is we can focus on the positives and train our brain and rewire it to focus on positives. So a somewhat silly yet relevant example of this is that the other day I had somebody over at my apartment, and I also had a candle that was in a glass holder. Now this person accidentally broke the glass holder, but instead of getting angry or irritated that they had accidentally broken it, instead of focusing on the negative, I focused on the positive, which was, I'm really glad none of the shards of glass got in his foot and that he was fine. So this is the candle in question. It is broken, as you can see. So I'm talking about minor little inconveniences like this, or even bigger situations. There are things that sometimes you can't control, and looking at the positives of any situation is the way to go, and that's gonna help you with your mood. Another thing to do is to reduce your stress levels. That is a common theme throughout this video and in life, but stress really does ruin everything. So do what you know reduces stress for you. And if it happens to be a hormonal problem, which could very much be possible, talking to a doctor is the way to go. So the 5th sign is that you isolate yourself. So you isolate yourself from the people you love. You don't want to socialize even if you're an extrovert. You avoid social events you usually love, and you find it difficult to even reply to messages. If that last one is not me, I don't know what is. And I think a lot of you guys can relate to that one too. Now, if this is happening to you, what can you do about it? It is so important to start taking care of yourself again. And when you take care of yourself, you're going to start feeling like yourself. So do things that boost your mood, things that make you happy, hobbies that you haven't been able to do for a while, exercise, eat right, sleep well. All of those things are going to make you feel better. And once you're ready and feeling a little bit better, maybe start slow by inviting a friend over, just one-on-one for a chill night, maybe a movie, some dinner. Or if a friend is inviting you to something, push yourself a little bit, get yourself out of your comfort zone, and start getting back into the swing of socializing. And even just being honest about how you've been feeling lately with a trusted friend is a great way to reconnect with them. Chances are your friends love you and are going to support you no matter what. And finally, the 6th sign is that your sleeping or eating habits have changed. So dramatic changes in your sleeping or eating habits can be a sign of a mental health issue. Things like overeating, undereating, or having a loss of appetite, opting for more comfort foods, insomnia, oversleeping, or even taking frequent naps throughout the day are all examples of major changes in your eating or sleeping habits. So what can you do about this? Well, the very first thing is to take note of all of the possible changes that you are experiencing. Let's say that you're facing a loss of appetite and you're undereating. So you have to change what you tell yourself in your head about food. Remind yourself that food is necessary and it gives you energy so that you can get through your entire day. In addition to that, make sure to set goals around your food. So from the day before, make sure you write down what time you're going to have each meal, what you're going to eat, and set an alarm in your phone for each meal. When you don't have an appetite, it is really hard to know when your body needs food. So doing this will make sure you're eating enough. If you're experiencing insomnia, make sure to do some things that are proven to help with sleep, like taking melatonin, having decaf warm tea before bed, turning off all electronics an hour before bed. If you are experiencing frequent naps throughout the day, try to do things that will boost your energy, like getting outside in the sunlight, exercising, staying hydrated. So as you can see, there are always solutions to every single type of problem that we are facing, and that includes mental health problems as well. I really hope this video was helpful to somebody out there. Let me know in the comment section below if you are experiencing any of these signs that your mental health is kind of falling apart right now. I'll go first. When I'm not feeling mentally well, I definitely tend to have impulse control issues when it comes to social media, and I definitely get burnt out and brain fog. So I also implement these techniques that we learned today to help keep my mental health in check and keep myself feeling well. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!